Yeah. Hi guys. So welcome to Introduction to Node.js course. So this course is like initiative taken by Newton School. Newton School is an initiative taken by a bunch of IIT graduates. Okay. So where the focus is to uh, teach the core fundamentals of computer science and also some specialized courses like full stack web development. So these courses are like pay after placement courses. So Launchpad is an initiative taken by a Newton School, where uh, this Launchpad is specific for people who want to do a career transition, or you are a student and you want to learn computer science fundamentals. Okay, so this is the Launchpad for you. Uh, if you want to learn like computer science fundamentals, how computer science subjects work, how computer science works, so this is the right platform for you. I mean, the Launchpad by Newton School. Okay. So you can visit the website, Newton School website. Okay. And you can like sign up into this Newton School. Like after signing up, you will be redirected to the page like this. So after this, like you can see all the courses which are currently going on in our Launchpad. Okay. So like there are like multiple courses. Okay. So if you are interested in any particular course, you can just click on apply. Okay. You just fill in the application. Okay, click on apply. The other basic data that will be asked. Okay, so the current location, what is the graduation year, how did you hear about us, and what is the college. Okay, so after that, you can just directly enroll into course. So after enrolling into the course, so all the courses will appear under tracks. So these are your current tracks. So these are all your enrolled courses. Okay, so you can click on the course. Okay, so something will be visible to you in this way. So here you will be having all the sessions that have occurred recently. Okay, these are all the sessions. You can watch you can watch all those things. And if you have any doubt regarding this particular session or a particular topic, you can click on add doubt button. This will redirect to another form where you can post your doubt. So what is the title of your doubt? Okay. So what is the detailed description of your doubt? And also, like, if you have any some code snippets to share with us, you can attach a playground. Okay. So if you want to know about if you want to know what the doubts that your peers said, you can just click on the doubts forum. Okay. So here all the doubts that your peers said will come up. Okay. So now, so here you can see something called playground. So playground is an IDE provided by Newton School. So where you can write some code and you can use some input and output consoles to test your program how it is working. Okay, so for example, this is the code, this is the place where you write the code. You can select the desired programming language that you want. Okay, so currently I have just selected JavaScript Node.js. Okay, so for example, is there any input required for your code? You can input that input over here. Okay, so the output will appear over here. Like this is the like ID which is provided by Newton School. So you can come up over here. Like, you can play with your code. Okay. Uh, so so uh, so that is about like Newton School and all these things. So if you are enrolled into any course, if you have successfully completed all the sessions, you can see the progress based upon your completion of sessions. So if you successfully completed all the sessions, you'll get a free certificate of completion by Newton School. Okay. So now we'll go to the session. So so, yeah. In previous session, we have discussed about uh, MongoDB. Okay, so what is MongoDB? Why we are using MongoDB? What are the difference between SQL and NoSQL? Okay, so how can we log in, create an account in Atlas, and how can we connect to the cloud storage? Atlas is cloud storage. So how can we connect to the Atlas using an MongoDB Compass or using a MongoDB shell? Okay, so but we are left out with what we have left out with this. If you click on connect, we have left out with connect your application. So this will work on today. Okay, so how can we connect to our application, and how can we do some operations based upon that? Okay, so before connecting it, we will learn some prerequisites. So what are those? So which is like a Mongoose. So okay, what is Mongoose? So in this session we'll learn about what is Mongoose, what are models and schemas, and what are some basic Mongoose functions. Okay. Okay. First of all, we'll look at like what is Mongoose. So Mongoose is just a library. Okay, don't like speculate a lot about Mongoose is just a library. Okay, what kind of library? It is a kind of ODM library. ODM means object document mapping. Okay, it maps all the records in a document format. That's all. Okay, so it is Mongoose is just a library available in Node Package Manager. Okay, so that is used for like object document mapping. So in detail, if you want to understand, consider this icon as a MongoDB. Okay, so Mongoose is just a wrapper of Mongoose. Okay, Mongoose is just a wrapper of MongoDB. Okay, so why it is a so it is a wrapper. So what is the use of it? So Mongoose provides a multiple functions. Okay, like if you can see, it's like giving get, okay, dot get off, dot find by ID, dot delete one. So if you directly work with MongoDB library or MongoDB API, the functionalities are a bit messier. Okay, so if you try to work with that, like you will not be able to perform all the operations in a optimized way. So then the Mongoose library comes into picture. Okay, where it is a wrapper of MongoDB. It provides multiple functions which will be very useful to develop any application. Okay, so why it is easier? Because it is providing some functions which we use daily, regularly, and also those functions are very well optimized. Okay. Okay. So this is about like Mongoose. Mongoose is just a library, which is it is a library which is a wrapper of MongoDB, providing us a multiple functions which we use regularly. That's all. Okay. So models and schemas. So when you are using Mongoose package, one thing we should keep in consider is what are models and what are schemas. How we can use these models and schemas for an efficient data storage and data retrieval process. Okay. So what is the schema? First, we'll start with schema. So the word itself is case, right? Schema. Schema is type of data. Okay, structure of type of data. So what is the data types that you are storing in? What is the structure of it? For example, I want to store some user details. Okay, so what is the user? So I want to store some user details. Then what will be the schema of a user? So we'll be having a name, we'll be having a age, and we'll be having a bio. Okay, so these three properties. Okay, so we have the properties. Okay, we have the properties, but we also want the types of the properties. So what are the types? The name is of type string, the age is of type number, the bio is of type string. So it is a schema. So it is defining what kind of data that we are storing and what is the structure of the data. Kind of data means the data types. Structure means the name, age, and bio. Properties and property types defines a schema for us. Okay, so it is as simple as that. Okay, so similarly, another example called block schema. So for example, you are developing a website where you will try to show some blocks. Okay, so all blocks should have some certain order or schema. Then we'll write something called block schema, where we will have some properties and types of those properties. What are the properties? What is the title of your blog? What is the snippet of your blog? And what is the body of your blog? Okay, body in the sense description, the detailed description of your blog. So what will it? These are the properties. Now, what is the types of these properties? Everything will be string data types. Okay. So this required tells us. So all these fields are mandatory. Even if one of these field is not given, so there will be some error, or it will raise an error for us. Okay? So one field is missing. Okay. In that way, it will raise an error. Okay. So that is schema. Schema defines the structure of a type of data. Okay. Then what is model? So we are talking the model and schema with respect to Mongoose package. Okay. So if you go to MongoDB, we might not hear about models. Okay. We might just hear about schema, but we might not hear about model, because model comes into picture as we are using Mongoose package. Okay. So what does the model? What is the use of model? Models allow us to communicate with the database collections. Okay, so we created schemas. Okay, so model is a wrapper of those schemas which provides those functions. So basically we have these functions like get, find by id, find, all these we have these functions which Mongoose provides. So we can use all these functions on top of model only. not on schema. Schema is kind of set of rules. Okay, so we'll wrap this set of rules with a model. So on this model, we can apply different functions. So like for get, save, detail, all these operations we can perform by using Mongoose functions. Okay, so there is a block schema. So the block schema is wrapped with a block model. So on this block model, we can perform different types of functions. Okay. So now what we'll do is we'll try to connect the MongoDB with our application and do some basic operations. Okay. So this is the application that we have developed in the previous sessions where we concentrate upon Express. Okay. So there we have used static data. Okay. So now what we'll do is we'll not go into that. So now what we'll do is we'll just use Mongoose package. So to use Mongoose package, we have to initially install it. Okay, npm install Mongoose at the rate 5.11.15. So I'm trying to install a Mongoose package of version 5.11.15. So why we are giving this version is so there are some issues with the latest version which are giving us some warnings that might be very like very different to us. So that's why I'm using a version which doesn't show any warnings, unnecessary warnings for us. Okay, so if you can see, there are no dependencies. Like there are only two dependencies, Express and Node. So the moment I install Mongoose, so we'll be having a third dependency. Okay, so here you can see we have a dependency of Mongoose of version 5.11.15. Okay, so we can just import this using require function. Sorry, const Mongoose imported using require of what is the package name Mongoose. Okay, so now Mongoose, so Mongoose has like a this all these like functions which we can use. Okay, so how can we connect this Mongoose with MongoDB Atlas? Okay, so there is something called mongoose.connect of where it will take a URI, which is nothing but a connection string. Okay, connection string for this Atlas. Okay, and also some additional parameters. Okay, so here we'll go to this MongoDB Atlas, click on connect to your application. Okay, so our version is Node.js 3.6 or later. Yes, we'll try to copy this. Okay, copy this connection string or copy this URI, anything we can say DB URI. Okay, so what is the DB URI? Like it is const DB URI is this one. Okay, so here we should replace this password with our actual password, which is root. Okay, and also the database with our actual database name, which is test. So this is the connection string. Now, so we can connect our Mongoose package, okay, using this connection string to the MongoDB Atlas. Mongoose dot connect. So to connect, we use connect function. What does it take? It takes an URI and some additional argument parameters. So I'm giving it DB URI. Okay. So we'll try to connect, try to save it and connect, run this thing. How to run this thing? Nodemon space index.js. Okay, so we got some error. Okay, so nodemon space run space div, because we added some script over here. It doesn't work in this way. So okay, so nodemon space run space div. It is again giving some error. Sorry. So it is npm space run space dev. Okay. So as we added this nodemon space index.js, okay, we added this nodemon space index.js over here. That means to run this file on like giving a this dev command, it will automatically execute the script. Okay, that's why we should give npm space run space dev. So like when we run this thing, we got some errors. Those are not errors, those are warnings. So what are those warnings? There is some depreciation warning and some depreciation warning. Okay. So to avoid those warnings, we need to include two additional parameters. Okay. So what are those here they given? Like use this thing to avoid those warnings. So use unified topology is equal to true. We'll save it. So as we are using nodemon, it will as we save our file, it will again restart it. Okay. So here if you can see, we haven't got any error. So it connected it has been listening at port 5000, but we don't know yet whether this got connected to the MongoDB Atlas or not. So this Mongoose is connected to MongoDB Atlas using DB array. We are not sure about it. So, so mongoose.connect is an asynchronous function. Okay, that represents a promise. Then what we can do? We can do dot then on it. Dot then console.log of db is connected. If it is successful, it triggers dot then function. If there is any error in connecting to database, then it will trigger dot catch function. Okay. So dot catch returns an error for us. So what is the error that we are getting? So we'll try to print the error, and if we got any, we'll try to debug it. Okay, we'll save it. Here you can see DB is connected. Okay, so now using this Mongoose package along with the connection string, okay, we are able to connect to our MongoDB Atlas, okay, or our database or our cloud storage, anything you can call it. Okay, so now as we have successfully connected to it, basically we are able to successfully connect it. So now we'll create some files where we'll look into what are models and what are schemas. Okay. So what I will do is uh, I'll create a file. Okay. So file name is person.js. Okay. The file name is person.js. So in this, I will again try to import Mongoose package. Mongoose is equal to require of Mongoose. Okay. So Mongoose, so as we are trying to, so now, so the main reason why I have created this file is, so in this file, I will try to define a schema for this person. Okay. So we are trying to store some data with respect to person. Okay. The data is of person type. So we'll define a schema. Okay. What does this person contain? So the person will be having like a name. Okay. What is the gender? Okay. What is the like we'll be having a what is the email ID. So you will use these things only. What is the name? What is the email? And what is the status? Okay, so we'll use these three properties. Okay, so to define a schema, Mongoose provides a schema object for us. Okay, so const schema is equal to mongoose dot schema. Okay, now so here we can do something called person schema. So what is the schema of a person? So what will be the schema of a person? Schema of person will be uh, so So now we are trying to create a new schema for a person. So for that, we will use this newly created object. Sorry, the schema we will going to use. Okay, which takes a schema. So what are the properties that we are trying to consider over here? One is name. Okay, so name will be of type. So name will be of type string. Okay, so whether is this field is mandatory or not. So then we will use something called require. Okay, required. Okay. Similarly, we'll create the next thing is email. Okay. So for email, we'll also be having some type. So these are like, so what are the properties that we are going to have, and what are the types of those properties, and whether those properties are required or not while giving the data, while storing the data, whether those properties are required or not. So that's why we are writing some set of rules. Okay, a string. Okay, if it is required, we'll make required as true. Okay, so the other thing is uh, status. Okay. What is this type of this status? Also, it is string. And what is whether it is required or not? Of course, it is required for us. So that's why I'm maintaining it as true. Okay. So I guess these quotations are not needed. In JSON representation, those quotations are not needed. Okay. So this is the like the schema for us. Okay. So the schema contains the properties and the types of those properties. That's all. Okay. So now we will add another extra add-on property for it. So that what is it is timestamps. Okay. Timestamps is true. So for example, uh, whenever you create a document, so you'll be having an extra property of created it or updated it. Okay, so whenever you have created an inserted a new document, you'll be having timestamps for each document that you inserted or that you updated. You'll be having a timestamp for each document. Okay, that's why I added another property for timestamps as true. Okay, so this we don't need to insert every time. So every whenever we try to create a document, whenever we try to update a document, this the Mongoose package will take care of the timestamps. This we don't need to worry about. Okay, so now as you created this schema, we should create a model around this schema. Okay, so how will we create a model? Okay, so okay, so const. Okay, we'll name a model. The name of the model is person. So every time, so the actual rule is like the name of the model have a the starting letter of the model name should be kept. Okay, const person is equal to mongoose dot model. Okay? So this mongoose dot model takes multiple parameters, but we will only work two parameters. The first one is name. Okay, so I will give over here something called person. Okay, so what is the use of this argument, or what is the use of this parameter? Okay, so when we give something over here, okay, it will actually lowercase this string and also pluralize this string. So then what how it will be? It will be in this way, persons. Okay, so on this name, it will check for any database in the cluster, any collections in the database. Okay. 1 second. Yeah. So we have a test database. In the test database, we have a collection called books. Okay. So if we're trying to give a person, So it will be converted into persons, and so on this name, it will create a collection if it doesn't exist. Okay, if it does exist, the model directly communicates with that particular collection. Okay, so here we are maintaining a connection between the actual collection and the model using a argument called person, which will be lowercase and pluralized, so that we will not we no need to worry about like future purpose. Like for example, in future you don't know like for which collection it is got connected, because we already mentioned over here. So this will take care of this connection. Okay, it might be like very like strange to you. Like as we go on, we will understand like how this works. Okay. So now, what is the second parameter? It is the schema. Okay. So what is the schema over here? It is person schema. Okay. So now we have created a model. So module dot exports is equal to person. Okay. So basically, what we create in the person.js, we defined a schema for it, how the data is, what are the data, what are the properties, and what are the types of each property. We added extra property called timestamps, okay, which Mongoose will take care of. And so we created a model as a wrapper for the schema. So we also made a given a string which is used for connection to the collection. Okay, connection to the collection. Okay, so we exported it for, we'll use this model in the index.js. We'll go over here. So const person is equal to require of require of person.js. Okay. So why it is crashed? Yeah. So basically, so this returns an object for us. Like we should not call it. Okay. So now, as we are able to connect the database, and we are also able to import the schema into this file. Okay. So we'll try to use something. So we'll use app.getOff. We'll do some get requests. So based upon those get requests, we'll try to create document. Okay. Find all documents, or like get all documents, or get single document. Okay. Based upon like using this simple get request. Okay. So first of all, like what we'll do, we'll create a root called add person. Okay. It will also have a callback where we'll be getting request and a response. Okay. So as you get the request and response, what we'll do is, so where person is equal to person is equal to new person of, so what does this all have? Like we have something called name. Okay. So name will be like Nehru. Email is like nehru@gmail.com, and also status. Okay. Status is active. So we are actually like creating a new person object using the person model. Okay. It's a person dot save off. Okay, so this save off is a Mongoose functionality that we can use on top of model. Okay, so it is asynchronous. That's why we'll use something called dot then off. Okay? If it is successfully stored, okay, so save is like dot save is used for saving this particular document in the respective collection that we have specified over here. Okay. So if it is successful, the document storage is successful, what we can do, we can send it as a response dot send off. You get a result as a parameter in the callback function. We'll send the result. Okay. If it is not, console.log of error. So if there is an error, it will trigger a catch function. Okay. So we'll save this file. So DB is also got connected. We'll go over here and we'll hit this localhost shows 5000 add person. There is no, okay, so here we should not add dot. Server, so DB is also got connected. Okay, here you can see we got the data. So you might find see something different because we only try to save these things, but we got additional 3 fields. Okay, one is ID. So basically, like whenever you create a document, so for every document we'll be having a unique field which is ID. Okay, so other 2 fields are, as we already added an extra argument like over here, like timestamps as true. So that is used for creating these 2 created and updated data. So when it is created in this particular date and time. Okay, so this is the last updated. So if you use some update functions to update this particular document, so we'll be having that particular time. Okay, so this is basic dot save method. Okay, so if you want to see whether it got stored in this or not, so we'll try to refresh it. Here you can see there is something called people created over here. Okay. So people is nothing but a plural of persons. The plural of person. Person. The plural of person is what? People. Okay. So that got created over here. So you can see the document that we have saved right now. Okay. So what if you want to store it, store a new one? Okay. So we'll rename this ramu@gmail.com. We'll save it. Okay. We'll reload this particular. So we'll again do the get request. Okay, so here you can see the latest document. Okay, with the latest time and also the new ID. So if you want to see whether this data is also stored or not, you can go to this over here and click on refresh. Here you can see the 2 documents. Okay. Yes. So that is the like basic dot save functionality. So now what we'll do, we'll so as we are able to save this, save the save this data into any document format, we'll try to retrieve the documents which are already existing in the collection. Okay, so how can we do? So and again, I'll create a normal get root. So as of now, we'll work on get roots only. So based upon get root, we'll do some different operations like as we done the saving thing, we'll do something called find, and we'll do something called find by ID. Okay, so in tomorrow's session, what we'll do is we'll try to like develop each method for each with that specific get specific HTTP request. Okay, so we'll do this we create a new thing. So view persons. Okay, so this is a new root. So there should not be dot any dot. So view persons. So we'll be having a callback function. So which have 2 parameters, request and response. Okay. So again, so here there is no need of writing like creating a new model and like storing the data, because the what is the purpose of this this particular snippet? So only to retrieve the existing data. Okay, so that we can do by using person dot find. That's all. So this will able to retrieve all the documents that are existing in the people collection. What are the documents that are existing in the people collection? We're able to retrieve using dot find off. Okay. So dot find is again a what asynchronous function. So as it takes some time, so we will do dot then. Dot then result. Dot then will be having a callback function, which from which we'll getting a result as a parameter. That we'll send that as a response. Sorry, response dot send off that result. Okay, whenever there is a get request got hit. Okay, now if there is any error to find the data in that particular collection, so it will trigger catch. Okay, so catch will be having a callback of parameter error. So we'll try to see, we'll try to log it, what is the error, if there is any error. Try to save it. So using this API, this route, we'll do the get request. So DB is also got connected. So here, remove this, then we add the new route, we hit it. So we are able to get all the documents which are in the people collection. Okay. So we have these two documents. One is we checked it earlier, the other the regulated afterwards. Okay. So the same words, the same thing that we have see over here. So how we are able to retrieve using function called dot find. Okay. So now what we'll do is, so instead of like retrieving all the documents, we'll try to retrieve a document with some specific ID. Okay. Okay. So to do that, we will create another API. Okay, API route. The API endpoint is view single person. Okay, so view single person. So it have a callback function request comma response. Okay. So in that callback function, so earlier what we have used something called find. Find will get us all the values. Okay, all the records. Sorry. So now we should not use find. We should use find by ID. Okay. So here we'll give that thing. We'll give the ID. So as it is a callback. So yeah. So how we can give this? So copy it. Request dot params dot ID. Okay. So what we'll do, it is an asynchronous function again. We'll do dot then. So dot then will give result. Okay. We'll send it as a response to the front end. Okay. For if there is any error while finding all the records with respect to that ID, they will get this catch function will get triggered. We'll log in. Okay. So here, what is the API endpoint? It is view single person. Okay. So for that, I'm giving this. So as I given this particular ID, okay, I'm able to get all the details on the particular ID. Okay. So if I try to change, try to want different result, unable to copy it from there. We'll try to copy it from here only. We'll change the ID value. So here we are getting Nehru's details. We change it over here. Now we are able to get the Ramu's details. Okay. So now basically we have covered three functions. One is dots. So we have covered what like how we can install the Mongoose package. Okay, how we are able to connect the Mongoose connect the application to the MongoDB Atlas through some connection string and using some package called Mongoose. Okay, that is the second one. Okay, and also we use this dot then and dot catch for asynchronous things. After that, like we have created a file which consists of a schema, what type of data that we want to store, and what is the model. Okay, how we can create a model using that particular schema, and how can we connect this model to any collection. Okay, so after that, using some normal get routes or get requests, we are able to perform three different operations. One is how to save the object, the data object using dot save method. Okay, how to find all the documents in particular collection using dot find of. Okay, and how to find a specific documents based upon its unique id. Okay, which so far we using find by id. Okay, so all these dot save, dot find by id are the functions provided by Mongoose package. These functions we can apply on the model itself. That's the main use why we are creating a model. Okay, so these function we cannot apply on the any like we cannot apply on this normal object. We cannot apply on the schemas. We can apply on the model, which is a flavor of schema. Okay, so using Mongoose package. Okay, so tomorrow we'll clearly see like what are all the CRUD operations that we can perform using the Mongoose package. Like for what are the different operations for create, different operations for read, update, and delete. Okay, yeah, so that is it for today's session. You can go check out the Newton School website for further information. Thank you.